Hello everyone and welcome to another Google Ads tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to use keyword insertion in responsive search ads. We're going to go straight to the point. Before we do that, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps tremendously to create new content, so thank you very much in advance. And let's get started. So here we are editing a responsive search ad. All we have to do is click on, let's say, this box under headlines, and we need to open curly brackets. When you open curly brackets, you are going to see the option of keyword insertion. When you click keyword insertion, then ideally you need to choose title case, and here you need to insert a default text. And then we're going to say here, this is my headline, and let's explain now how this works. What the keyword insertion does is it takes the query that the user typed on Google. So let's say I go on Google here, I type, let's say, best co-working spaces or whatever, let's say you want to find, and the system will take this query and it will make it your headline. And let's actually unpack now here what we did with the keyword insertion, right? So why it looks like this, and let's say, why do we need to put a default text? First of all, if you select title case, it means that the system will take what the user typed on Google and will apply what we call camel casing, meaning it will capitalize the first letter of every word. So if you select title case, if let's say somebody comes here and types best co-working spaces in whatever, or best co-working spaces, like that, then the system will take this word and your headline will be best co-working spaces. So this is what title case means, that it will take the query and it will capitalize the first letter of every word. If you say lowercase, then everything will be lowercase. If you say sentence case, it means that the first letter of the sentence is going to be capital, and then the rest of them are going to be lowercase. And what is this default text? As we all know, there's a limit in terms of the characters, right? So every headline can be a maximum of 30 characters, which means that if the user goes on Google and types something very long, let's say best co-working spaces in, let's say, Singapore. So let's say the user types something that is very long, and we can see here that this phrase doesn't really match the 30 characters, is longer than that. Then this is why here we need to actually go and say default text, meaning, again, if the headline doesn't match the character limit, then you need to use this headline here, right? And that's why your keyword insertion will look like this. Keyword with capital W and then semicolon, the default headline, if whatever the user types doesn't match the character limit, and then you close the curly brackets, and that's how you can use keyword insertion in Google Ads. Now, you can use keyword insertion in headlines, you can use keyword insertion in descriptions, you can use keyword insertion in the paths also, you can use keyword insertion in every aspect of your responsive search ads. Now, a couple of tips. When should we use keyword insertion and when should we not use keyword insertion? Ideally, use keyword insertion when you are also using exact match, phrase match, and you also have negative keywords that will prevent your ads to show for completely irrelevant queries or maybe even competitive queries. Do not use keyword insertion if you are using broad match keywords and if you are not using negative keywords, because imagine if someone is looking for your competitor's name and then you take this competitor's name and it becomes the headline of your ad, right? So be mindful of when and where you use keyword insertion. Ideally, again, if you are using exact match, phrase match, if you have negative keywords in place, you are 100% sure that whatever the user is going to type in is going to be safe, then you can actually use keyword insertion. Now, you can use keyword insertion for some headlines and then type in other headlines, let's say, and all of these things will rotate, or you can pin the keyword insertion headline, let's say, in place if you want maybe to improve your quality score. But again, it is very important to be mindful that if you are to take this step and use the keyword insertion, you need to be 100% sure that nothing weird is going to show up as your headline. That's it. Let me know if this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day in any time zone.